Hey guys, Catherine here. Back at you with making more charms from Sculpey for my fandoms. Today I think I want to make a Sculpey D4. A D4 is a kind of small dice that is used in tabletop playing games, and I enjoy tabletop games. It's used particularly in games like D&D and Pathfinder, where you have an assortment of different size dice. And I chose a D4 because it is one of it is the dice that has the fewest sides. It is a sort of small pyramid, and it is called a D4 because it has 4 sides and therefore can give you a random chance, 1 of 4. And I am mixing a little bit of blue and green together just to get a sort of, just until it's swirly, because I would like my D4 to be swirly blue and green. And now I'm going to form it up into a small pyramid shape. So to make it have 4 sides and 4 points, it needs to have, if you're viewing it from the top down, 3 sides, because one of the sides is the bottom. This is a little wiggly, so I think what I'm going to do is lay it on my work surface and lay a smooth object up against it and press it against that smooth object to give me even sides, if I can get it to work. This is a theory that I have, that it might work out this way. Well, that's closer. Yeah, I like that. That's good. That is the shape of a D4. It's a little wiggly still. Go. See if we can't straighten that out a little bit. And then for the numbers, for the number indicators, a D4 is particular in that it doesn't tell you what the number is determined by what side is up, because it can't land with a single side up. It always lands with a point up. So it tells you what number it's determined by the side down. And in order to show you what side is down, it's got numbers listed on each of the flat sides around the point that is opposite the side down. So if there's a side down here, this point has those numbers around it. Now, I've always been a particular fan of dice which have pips on them. That's not so convenient or easy on a dice that you can get 20 sides on, because it would just be very difficult to put 20 pips on a single side, and then you'd have to know how many that was by the shape of the way that the pips are, and be able to tell that apart from 19 and 18 at a glance. So on a D20 that isn't convenient, but on a dice the size of a D6, a dice that has 6 sides, like a standard Yahtzee dice, that's very easy to do. And on a D4, you can do it as well. So I would like to put pips on my D4. And how I'm going to do that is just take my handy dandy dotting tool and put a single pip on the up point. Here we go. Of each of the sides. And that means that the side, or each of the sides next to the up, the point that's facing up, and that means that the side facing down is the 1. Then I will turn it so that I've got a different point facing up and put 2 pips. And then the side facing down is 2. 1, 2, and 1, 2. And then I'm going to face it to a side, a side that doesn't have any, a point facing up that doesn't have any pips on it yet, and put 3 pips. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. There we go. And then the last one is the one that doesn't have any pips yet. The only one that doesn't have any pips yet, because this is a D4. If you end up with, if you're at this point and you end up with more points that don't have pips than ones that do, then you've done something wrong. But we'll put 4 pips. Go on each side, if we can do it, if we can manage it. 2, 3, 4, and last one. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And, well, I wouldn't want to roll it just yet. The Sculpey is still soft. But once I bake it, I could roll it and end up with a number between 1 and 4. A number from 1 through 4, I suppose. It won't just be between 1 and 4. It could also be 1 or 4. But I do also want to make this a charm, so I need to add a eye pin to it. And I think I want to add the eye pin in the 1 point. That way the 1 is facing up, because that is what makes the most sense to me. Because that is the way that I want it. And this pin is just a hair too long. So I'll take and I'll cut it down just a little bit. There we go. And then I will press the eye pin into the top as straight as I am able to do, which I gotta be honest with you guys is not all that straight, really. Oh, and try not to mess it up too bad with my fingernails. I'm going to have to put that pip back on. There it is. I'll put that pip back on. There we go. Actually, let me straighten out all the 1 pips. And there you have it. A D4 charm. Now I'll bake it in the oven with the eye pin in it because that way it'll keep its shape and keep it open. And then once I've baked it, I'll pull the eye pin out and stick it back in using super glue. That way it stays in place when it's actually being hung from something. If I keep messing with it, I'm just going to mess it up further. But there we have it. 1 D4, ready for the oven, and then ready to be a charm. And that's what I did today. I'd love to hear what you're doing today. I'm always on the lookout for new hobbies and ideas and projects. I am a pretty active person. So why don't you let me know what you're doing, and I might just join you in it. No, I have to stop bothering with it. All right. See you guys later.